It's finally here, guys. The game is finally here. Demon Slayer the Hinokami Chronicles has finally dropped for everybody worldwide, and your boy, he had the game pretty early. I've been playing this game for a few days now, and the main character that I've been sticking to, which I've stated before who was going to be my main in the game, is Zenitsu. And so for this video, I want to create a guide for you guys to see how you're supposed to play this character, some of the issues with him, how to improve with him as you are playing the game. And so let's get into this. Now for Zenitsu, we want to go over everything about the character. So we're first going to start off with his normal attacks. The first part of his normal attacks are his light attacks. These light attacks are what you're going to be used for your basic combos, and he has 3 different versions of these attacks. He has his ground combos, his launcher combos, and his hard knockdown combo. All of these combos do have a yellow combo timer, and each of them do 3 different things. The ground combo keeps your opponent grounded, but you're able to extend with the chase dash. The launcher combo launches your opponent in the air, but again you're able to extend with the chase dash to follow up. The hard knockdown combo though is what it says. It knocks your opponent down to the ground, but it puts them in a set recovery state that you're able to set up attack options on their wake up to either force them to block again or to get hit. From someone who's been playing Zenitsu for the past few days, all of his auto combos are pretty solid, and he's able to get pretty decent amount of damage, especially when he has meter. But the one issue that he has is his starter of all of his auto combos, and that is the shoulder tackle that you see. This shoulder tackle, for one, has very short distance. You're able to tilt the stick and add extra distance onto it, but even with that, this move is pretty due to its average startup and really bad recovery on it. Throwing out this move causes Zenitsu to struggle because majority of the time you're going to whiff a lot with this move. The range on it is very abysmal, so a lot of times you're not going to hit your opponent, and you're going to have to sit around a space where a lot of other buttons can just beat this move because it's so slow. This is something that you're going to have to learn to work around with Zenitsu, because if not, you're going to have a pretty hard time opening up people, and you're going to have to play really risky in order to get damage with Zenitsu. You can work around this, it is a possibility, but this is something I do want to state to you guys to let you know when playing this character. Next we have his heavy attack. Heavy attacks is the quick tilt motion plus your light attack. This move is a charge move that has super armor and does really good guard damage. The cool thing about this move is that once this move is max charge, it automatically guards breaks whoever it hits. And the good thing about Zenitsu's heavy attack is that it has some of the best range in the game. This move does lead to a red combo, but with meter, Zenitsu is going to be able to dish out some pretty decent amount of damage. This move can be followed up with Zenitsu without assist if he's close enough, but if he's too far away, you're going to have to use the assist to confirm into some damage. This move can be jump cancel and dodge cancel, so you definitely want to do that in order to fake out your opponents. Finally, under his normal attacks, we have his aerial attacks. Zenitsu has a pretty weak aerial game when it comes to just his regular buttons. His jump light attack is a pretty slow sword slash. It doesn't have the greatest range, and the hitbox is kind of small, so majority of the time I really don't use this move at all. Maybe I'll throw it out every once in a while to see maybe if I can hit, but for the most part I really don't touch this move. Next we have Plunge. Plunge is a downward strike that leads into multiple hits. When first seeing this, I thought this move was pretty decent, but after being explained that you can't cancel out of the multi-hit follow-up, this move is actually kind of bad. What makes it bad is that if this move whiffs, Zenitsu is stuck into animation. You're just going to get punished off rip for throwing this move out. If you're going to use this move, you definitely want to make sure that you're guaranteed that you're going to at least hit them or attack their guard. But if you're not completely sure that you're going to do so, then I would suggest to use this move as little as possible. Also, this downward strike leads to a red combo. Majority of the time you want to stay pretty grounded with Zenitsu until you get into the position where you see your opponents in the air, and then you can thunderclap flash them. Next we want to follow with his special attacks. Your special attacks are your unique moves for every character, and for every character they all have 3 different moves. For Zenitsu's first 2, we have 2 versions of thunderclap flash. I call it TCF. TCF Prime is the version of the move that has a longer startup, but this move does a lot more damage than regular TCF. This move can be done in the ground, in the air, and it is a red combo starter. Also, this move does have a heavy block stun on your opponent, so you are able to follow up with the assist to do more guard pressure on them and either mix them up, hit them with a grab, or forcing them to be impatient and actually getting hit if they're trying to like jump out or hit a button. This move is pretty solid. A lot of times I do tend to use regular TCF a lot more than this, and that's because regular TCF has a faster startup and it can combo into itself. Now those are 2 benefits that outweigh Prime, but the only difference is that regular TCF does less damage than Prime. This move can also be used on the ground and in the air just like TCF Prime, and this is also a red combo. starter, which you will see as a trend with a lot of things with Zenitsu's character. Lastly, we have his best special in the game. This move is ridiculous, and this is air spin. Air spin is by far the fastest move that Zenitsu has, and it easily punishes anybody that tries to have gaps in their pressure, or if they're mashing on wake up, or if they homing dash at you. Air spin punishes it all with perfect timing, because this move has an invincible startup around the 3rd or 4th frame on it. This move is really good, and it can cancel out of any of Zenitsu's attacks, which is so good to have. The only downside for this move is that it is a red combo starter, but with meter, this move, you'll be able to dish out crazy damage because of how easily you're able to juggle opponents into new combos with it. Next we have Zenitsu Assist. Both of Zenitsu Assist are his versions of TCF. Prime applies a hard knockdown to your opponent, while regular TCF applies a stagger to your opponent to pick up and combo. Again, just like the special moves, the assists, both of these are red combo starters, but they are a pretty solid assist to use. That is all the button options that Zenitsu for his character, and for the most part, a lot of characters do have a pretty short move list. But there are some pros and cons that I do want to go over for Zenitsu, because you do want to properly be able to use this character in order to be efficient with him. The first thing I want to talk about is that Zenitsu has great mobility. Out of a lot of characters in the roster, Zenitsu moves probably the best out of a large majority of them, not only with his regular movement, but with his special abilities as well. Zenitsu is a part of the only few that he goes great distances when using his special move TCF. The downside with TCF though is that you need the proper spacing in order to keep yourself safe. If you miss space TCF will put you in situations where your opponent will punish you for using it. But once you get good with this character, and once you learn proper spacing, which is something that you really want to do well with this character, the TCF and just his general movement is going to be really strong for you. Also with Zenitsu, he is a high damage character. Now he's high damage because when he burns meter, he freaking destroys your health bar, which brings a con into this factor as well. He does good damage, but you have to spend a lot of meter in order for him to use damage, which is a downside. But with this game and how meter management works, the blue meter that's under your health bar isn't too hard to have, as long as you aren't just constantly burning meter 24/7, so you're able to constantly dish out meter when needed. But what's really important that you need to save as Zenitsu is that once you have the opportunity to get boost or surge, this completely changes Zenitsu and makes him a lot better character than what he is in his regular form. Also, Zenitsu is great at whiff punishing. This is where learning how to space with this character becomes really important, because proper spacing with him allows you to easily punish your opponents if they're whiffing out buttons or special moves. We have Thunderclap Flash that punishes opponents at full screen for whipping. We have Air Spin that punishes them up close due to it having invincibility on it and having a crazy good hitbox in the front of him and above him. Although a lot of times these do lead to red combo starters, again with Zenitsu with meter will clap any character no matter who they are. Also, Zenitsu has solid assists. Thunderclap Flash, even though it goes in a straight line, the tracking is pretty good. It's not the best tracking in the game, but it is good enough that it is an important factor when it comes to having him on your team, even if he isn't out on the field. Now some bad things about the character though is kind of what I've already mentioned before. He has a poor combo timer on majority of his combos. This is not only with his special moves, but with his basic attacks as well. You'll notice that Zenitsu doesn't have any blue combo timers outside of getting a parry on an opponent. This restricted his combo potential a little bit, but he's still a solid character no matter what, because the amount of damage he's able to push out so quickly. I feel like that if they actually gave Zenitsu a blue combo timer outside of parry, Zenitsu would probably be a lot stronger than what he already is. Also, something I stated before as well, the short range on his jab causes a lot of issues for him, and the main issue, which coincidentally is what he's good at, is that it causes him to whiff a lot. So this then requires you to have specific assists with him in order to support him in those instances where he does whiff, or preemptively put those assists out to make sure that he doesn't whiff. This is something that you're going to have to play around and get good at with Zenitsu in order to improve with this character, but I'm pretty sure that once you guys put the time in, it's not going to be too hard in order to get accustomed with. Zenitsu, I would say overall is a pretty strong character. I wouldn't say he's the best character in the game. I wouldn't say he's busted. I know a lot of you guys are coming from the perspective of him being really busted in the game based on the gameplay that we have seen people use. Trust me, Zenitsu is probably one of the more balanced characters in the game, which you guys will see once you get your hands on this. For the rest of the video, I will be showing you some combos that I came up with that you're able to do with Zenitsu. So hopefully those are pretty helpful for you in order to maximize your damage with the character. Zenitsu's a lot of fun. If you guys want more guides like this on other characters or other helpful tips with playing with Zenitsu, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Show me the support to let me know you guys want this type of content. Appreciate you guys for coming through. Thank you for all the support. I'll see you guys in the next one.